A very good morning and welcome to one of the most famous race circuits in the world for the final time in 2021. This is the final round of what has been a magnificent 2021 Italian F1 Championship, powered by Abarth, presented by WSK Promotion. The championship has already been wrapped up. Ollie Bierman has already taken the title. He starts on the outside of the front row of the grid. As you look at the Mexican, Eric Zuniga will try and get a word with a couple of drivers. Camilla is down on the grid, who is in fact with the newly crowned champion, Ollie Bierman. Let's go down to Camilla now.
Hi, Oliver. The title is in your hand. I think it's nice, but I'm sure you're aiming for a victory.
Yeah, it's nice to have taken the championship before Monza because, yeah, anything can happen in these races. But yeah, still we'll go for the best result possible, and yeah, I'll go for it. Looking forward to it.
Thank you.
Ollie, the newly crowned champion, he starts on the outside of the front row of the grid alongside Lorenzo Petresi, who took pole position for all three races this weekend for the first time in his career. We'll try and get a word with the pole sitter, the Italian for Antonelli Motorsport, who is down on pole position with Camilla.
Lorenzo, congratulations on your first pole position in your career. How do you feel? You are still battling for the rookie title.
Yes, it's amazing. You know, it's a new experience to see nothing in front, pole position, and now we'll see if we can get the job done.
Thank you.
Lorenzo Petresi took pole position for this race one, also race two this afternoon, and race three, what will be the 21st race of the 2021 championship for Antonelli Motorsport. As we look at the grid, look at this, 35 cars on the grid here at Monza, the circuit, which hosted the Italian F1 Grand Prix, well, a few weeks ago. Let's go down to Camilla with the Mexican, Eric Zuniga.
Hi, Eric. Great position, second row. This is your last opportunity to win.
Yeah, I think it's a very good position to start with. So let's see what we can do.
Thank you.
Eric Zuniga from the second row of the grid. The BWT Mook Motorsport team drivers. Josh Dirksen out of 3, Eric out of 4. They dominate the second row of the grid. There is Petresi to the bottom right of your screen, the second generation racer. And to the left is Ollie Bierman. We'll take a look at the grid for you in its entirety in just a moment. As we say, 35 cars on the grid. This is Lorenzo Petresi, who dominated qualifying, a time of 1:53.206 around this incredible circuit, which next season celebrates 1 century of motor racing. That is Ollie Bierman to the left of your screen. He is the 2021 champion. The only way is S6 for OB1. Starts out of grid 2. This is the grid. This is what it looks like. Patrese on pole, the champion, alongside Muka Motorsport on the second row of the grid with Dirksen, Zuniga, Trumnitz, Dufek, Kimi Antonelli out of 7 alongside the Russian Vlad Lomko. Then we go to Humda. She's out of 9 alongside Leo Fornaroli, Armani, Vishnitsky, Conrad and Francesco Braschi, Santiago Ramos and Sebastian Montoya out of 16. Frank Simon, Nikita Bedrin leading the rookie championship. Ollie Gray, Massimo Capietto, Stuka, Kirill Small and the Dutch drivers, Maya Berg and Robert De Haan on the 12th row of the grid. Jonas Reed, Levente Reves, Jorge Garciace, Leo Bizzotto, way back on grid 28. Valent, Inflac on debut, who will have to attack from 30. Mazzola, Samira Ben, out of 32, we keep scrolling through. Giorgio Marco Giannis, the Mozambican driver Pedro Perino, and the Colombian Nico Baptiste, car 35, out of grid 35. The race has actually been officially declared wet, so that means somewhere around this incredible circuit in the parklands of Monza to the north of Milan, we've had reported just 1 or 2 drops of rain, so officially it is a wet race, but we are on the Pirelli slick tyres as Lorenzo Patrese leads the field down into Variante della Roggia, or the second chicane. The Roggia chicane. We'll try and keep an English accent for the best part of today's commentary. You had a look at car 88, Humda Alcobazi going through. There's her teammate, Kimi Antonelli. Here's Leo Fornaroli out of 72 for Team Iron Links, who are also competing this weekend in the penultimate round of the World Endurance Championship over in Bahrain. The Iron Links team are over there. And also, there is a connection to the F4 Championship because Humda Alcobazi, her father, Khaled Alcobazi, is also racing in a Porsche in the penultimate round of the World Endurance Championship. Alcobazi, she is in 88, sorry, and Antonelli in 99. They start, well, directly in line. Antonelli on the 4th row of the grid, just ahead of Alcobazi, 99 ahead of 88. The field come down through the Ascari chicane. The best opportunity for Eric Zuniga to break through for a maiden victory in the Italian F4 Championship. Powered by Abarth, presented by WSK Promotion. The Iron Links drivers go through. Car 24, Piotr Wisnicki, that's Santiago Ramos. Frank Simon in 84. Oh, Francesco Simonazzi, Kasper Stuka. There's Kirill Small, Maya Werg just ahead of her countryman. Robert De Haan, one of 3 debutants on debut here this weekend, along with Inflac, the Australian, who will have to attack the track from the back of the pack. Marcus Flack, who had a big accident in free practice yesterday. The Cram Motorsport team worked miracles to get the Australian on the grid in car 34. He was 13th quickest in free practice too in this 35 car field. As you look at Humda Alcobazi, who started the 2021 season with a victory in the United Arab Emirates F4 Championship. A good qualifying performance from Humda. She starts grid 6 for race 3 tomorrow. For the moment, in the first of 3 races this weekend, she's on the 5th row of the grid as the field comes through the Michele Alboreto Parabolica to form up for the 3rd final time for 2021. Patrese on pole position. The Antonelli Motorsport driver, last year racing for the Kart Republic team in WSK International Kart Racing. His first pole position in his car racing career. The Antonelli Motorsport, car 12 out of grid 1. Watch the Muka Motorsport drivers on the 2nd row of the grid. Josh Dirksen, who's already run twice in 2015. Nikita Bedrin, he leads the rookie championship, which will be decided this weekend. This massive field forms up the old historic banking to the right of your screen in the background. Van Amersfoort Racing, they've won the Drivers' Championship with Bierman, looking to take out the team's title as well. Robert De Haan on debut in the Italian Championship. Welcome to the home of the Italian Formula One Grand Prix for the 3rd final time in 2021. The last round of this magnificent championship. Ian Silvestrin with you in commentary. The green flag at the back of the grid, the 5 red lights. For the first time this weekend, we race. Nice start from Patrese from pole position, and the newly crowned champion Ollie Beerman goes with him as they race down into the first chicane for the first time this weekend. Beerman around the outside, tries to take the lead around the outside as Patrese locks up. He's done it. What a start by OB. He goes through position 1. The Mooka Motorsport drivers, they go straight ahead through the chicane. A disastrous start for the pink cars as they race through La Curva Grande for the first time. There's Sebastian Montoya on the charge. On this, the opening corners, or the opening few corners of the opening lap of the race. Patrese locks up and goes straight ahead. An ambitious move to try and retake the lead from Beerman, and comes out controversially. Well, just slots in behind. A fantastic start from Tim Trumnitz, the German, who took the fight for the championship up to the English driver Ollie Beerman, right up until the penultimate round a few weeks ago at Mugello. Tim in position 3 from Dufek. Another US racing driver, the Russian Vlad Lomko. And it's Antonelli Fornaroli. A disastrous start for the pink team, off in the gravel in the background with severe damage parked on the middle of the track. One of the BWT Mooka Motorsport cars dropping down the order. We'll pick up which one it was. It was Eric Taniga. His best chance of winning a race in the F4 Championship has come to a disastrous stop. Jonas Reed also, as Beerman leads into the Alboreto Parabolica. We're keeping one eye on race control as they battle down the back straight. Nice move around the outside by the first of that duo, or that trio from the Prema Power team. Antonelli, Montoya and Hunter Alcobazi. Look at them race across the start-finish line, trying to break the slipstream. Still no word from race control. It's a local yellow only for the BWT Mooka Motorsport team driver, who is parked in the middle of the circuit still as Patrese down the outside tries desperately to retake the lead. That's Trumnitz in P3. The order at the bottom of your screen. It is a ragged start to the opening race of 3 here this weekend. Francesco Braschi also trying to make his way up through the pack. He is in P15 ahead of Simonazzi, Gray and Smull. So Patrese has retaken the lead from him, and he's got the speed here this weekend. On lap 2, there is a local yellow for the abandoned car of Jonas Reed, or Eric Zaniga in fact. It's Jonas who's trying to drag that car back to the pits with severe damage to the front left. It is off the racing line though. There is damage. Look at the debris on the side of the circuit as they exit Lesmo 2 for the second time here this morning. Montoya going through. That's Conrad Larsen just ahead of Wisniewski and Pietro Armani. Hunter Alcobazi. So Patrese has retaken the lead. A messy start to race 1. The final round of the Italian F4 Championship. That's Beerman and Trumnitz in second and third. Dufek, Antonelli, Lomko, Fornaroli, Dirksen, now the sole driver for the BWT Mooka Motorsport team inside the top 10, despite his teammates Zuniga and Reed starting up very high up on the grid this morning. A lock-up from the 24 car of Piotr Wisniewski, who incidentally in free practice at this very part of the circuit recorded the fastest speed through the speed trap, 246 kilometers an hour. Trumnitz pulls out of the draft, gets the tow from Beerman, the championship leader. Just tries to drive Trumnitz into the grass, and at the same time almost retakes position 1 from Patrese. There's Fornaroli ahead of Dirksen. Antonelli is ahead of Vlad Lomko. So a sensational start from young Kimi. Car 99 going through in position 5 in what is only his 3rd ever weekend in car racing. The team run by his father, Marco Antonelli. They're in position 1 with Lorenzo, the Antonelli Motorsport family. And of course, they're competing this weekend also in the Lamborghini Super Trofeo World Final. So it's a big weekend for the Antonelli Motorsport team family. They're in position 1 with their team. They're in position 5 with their son, Kimi Wenlegrue of the Mercedes-AMG F1 team here this weekend at the Monza Circuit to keep one eye on his charger, who's in position 5. And speaking of F1, that's Sebastian Montoya, the son of Juan Pablo, who gets ragged on the exit of the Lesmo 2 corner. Almost throws his race away there, does Sebastian. He's P4 in the championship, trying to take third away from Leo Fornaroli as they race down the back straight now. The race settles down into some sort of rhythm. Thankfully, we have still stayed green. Patrese tries to break the toe from Bierman. Trumnitz, Dufek, Antonelli, Lomko, Kirill Small fighting with his countryman Nikita Petrin to the right of your screen, on the left of Kirill. And Small does not budge. Braschi under Alcobazi, she slipped back on the outside now of Francesco Simonazzi in car 84 for the BVM racing team, with his teammate Ollie Gray just behind in position 18. Bierman has to defend from Trumnitz. This race is just not letting up. And indeed, it is an 8-car fight for the top position in the race. As you see Sebastian with the fastest lap of the race, despite going into the gravel. Something which has just been repeated by one of the 5 VAR cars. Looked as though that may have been Bedrin who lost some time there at the exit of the chicane. His teammate, Bierman in P2, that's Trumnitz, Dufek, Antonelli, Locco, Fornaroli in car 72, just ahead of Josh Dirksen. Riccardo Patrese, the 6-time Formula One Grand Prix winner, down in the garage of the Antonelli Motorsport team. Riccardo never did win the Italian Grand Prix here at Monza. He did win the San Marino Formula One Grand Prix just about 200 kilometres away from here at the Imola circuit, but he nervously watches on his boy Lorenzo, who leads for the first time in his car racing career. Bierman, the champion, behind. Moved down the inside. Antonelli fighting with Lomko. Let's have a look at a replay of the start. It was a great getaway from Patrese. The second row of the grid, Dirksen and Zuniga from the second row. The pink cars locked up, actually made contact with the pole sitter. Patrese, have a look at this, down into turn 1, just clips the back of car 12, and there was damage for the 23 car. Patrese going straight ahead, he locked up even initially with the jump, and this was the end of the Germans' race. The gravel, severe damage to the front left. Jonas Reed trying to drag it back to the pits. He did not make it, and he's the first and thus far only retirement from race 1 of 3 here this weekend. Fornaroli going through, who was in contention for the championship earlier on. Fornaroli, who has won twice in 2021. He's in position 7, just behind Vlad Lomko. 3 Russians racing with us this weekend. Small, Lomko, and of course Nikita Bedrin, who does lead the rookie championship. So the race settles down as we approach the first third of race 1 here this weekend in through Lesmo 1 and 2. There is Trumnitz in car 70 for the US racing team. Under Alcobazi just a few moments ago, going wheel to wheel with Simonazzi and the BVM driver in car 84, who was racing in Euroformula at Barcelona 6 days ago. In the gravel, does continue on, but he's down in position 18. As we have a look at the Hungarian, Benzfelin coming in to retire car 86. It looked as though he was the one who in fact went wide in the gravel just a few moments ago. As Patrese exits Ascari, as Dirksen in car 10. Patrese with a lead of 7/10 of a second from Bierman into the Alboreto Parabolica. As you see Bierman check his right side mirrors. Trumnitz is right behind. We go back to Dufek. Antonelli, Lomko, there is Montoya, who is up into position 9. It's been a great start from Sebastian, who started back in grid 16, so he's already made up 7 places. Down the start finish straight, Trumnitz and Bierman Side by side, there is the lap car of Bensveld, who has just rejoined. Trumnitz, will he hold the inside line? Bierman on the outside, locks up the brakes. Watch Stuvek in the background. Antonelli senses his opportunity to get up onto the podium as Fornaroli is sideways in the background. Bensveld does do the right thing, he stays right out of the way. Fornaroli going wheel to wheel with Josh Dirksen. This race is just not letting up. Patrese still continues to lead, and as Bierman and Trumnitz fight behind, the Italian, who started from pole position, is pulling away. Damage to the US racing car in the background. Lomko. Vlad Lomko in car 69. There's his teammate going through, Tim Trumnitz. Lomko with severe damage to the US racing car. He's dropping down the order. And race one for the Russian appears to be over. So Patrese with a lead now of 1.2 seconds. Back to Trumnitz. And Bierman, Antonelli. There's debris flying as they go down into the Ascari chicane. So we've lost Vlad Lomko. We'll try and get a replay of what happened to the Russian just a few moments ago. That's his teammate in car 70 in second place. Bierman, the champion in P3. Antonelli now one step off the podium. Look at the field, like a swarm of tadpoles racing down the back straight at over 200 k's an hour. Makes contact with the back of the VAR car, does Lomko, and the Russian is out. Patrese now will check the lead. It is 1.5 seconds. Lomko's teammate Trumnitz still in second place. Antonelli, will he dive down the inside of the champion? Antonelli looks up. He's up onto a podium position. Super start by the Mercedes Junior. Kimi Antonelli is now in position 3. Bierman tries to fight back around the outside. We've seen this year after year in the Formula 1 Grand Prix held here at Monza. Through the big curve, La Curva Grande. Antonelli's on the inside, it becomes the outside. Bierman retakes position 3. That's Fornaroli in P5 in the background. Briefly, Antonelli was on the podium, but the champion in car 87 retakes the place. Patrese Trumnitz, this battle for the final step in race 1 between Ollie Bierman for the Ben Emersfoort racing team and Kimi Antonelli. There is the yellow flag at turn 7 for the car of Vlad Lomko. Also, it looks as though we have lost Josh Dufek, the English, Swiss, Austrian driver who is one of 7 race winners. Josh Dufek. Looks as though he has retired as well as Patrese pulls away. He's driving superbly. Made his debut in the Italian F4 Championship at the Mugello round of the championship in 2023. Pole positions last night as the sun started to set here in the north of Italy. Throws it in sideways into the Alboreto Parabolica. Keeps it on the circuit. His father, Riccardo, his nervous mother, Francesca, watching on from pit lane. Can you imagine? She will have no fingernails left. She's watching her boy 1.5 seconds ahead of the pack. Trumnitz, Bierman and Antonelli, the fight for the final step of the podium. Antonelli down the start-finish straight, gets the toe. There is Small leading the pack. He's in position 9. Armani, Wisniewski, under Alcobazi, goes wheel to wheel with Brasky, Gray, Simorazzi and Robert de Haan. There's Small, he's broken through. Just behind, Piotr Wisniewski takes the place. Nicely done ahead of Capieto, Alcobazi. Levindinovic gets airborne over the ripple strip, and we have lost. It looks as though that's Robert de Haan who's parked in the gravel. The Dutchman on debut in Formula 4 in the Italian Championship, parked on the outside of turn 1. He has beached the 5th VAR car, and that may well bring out the safety car. It's a local yellow only. Lomko's car in the background. We are keeping one eye on race controllers. Bierman gets ragged on the exit of Lesmo 2. Antonelli saw that. He needs to make a move instantly, because if the safety car is deployed, that will give breathing space to Bierman, and he's got it because the safety car is out. A lucky break there for Bierman, who almost threw race one away. The safety car out on the circuit for the Dutchman, Robert de Haan, who has beached it after coming together with Levente de Vesh just a few moments ago. The Iron Lynx drivers. Capieto racing together with his teammate Pietro Armani in the grass, actually. Piotr Wisniewski takes the place. Watch Levente de Vesh. He's on the outside, locks up, makes the lightest of contact right there with Robert de Haan. He had no steering as the car got airborne over the ripple strip, and that has brought out the safety car here this morning. Smack into the back of Robert. The Dutchman spins on debut in the Italian Championship, and he's out. Santiago Ramos incredibly has made his way through. A bit of rallycross from the Mexican going around the outside of Robert de Haan. That was nice driving from Santiago Ramos to stay in the race. So the safety car is deployed for the first time in what has been a pretty hectic race up until this point. Patrese, he had a 1.5 second lead, which has now evaporated. Trumnitz in second place. Bierman, who was being pressured immensely by Antonelli, is in P4. Fornaroli 5, Dirksen. Montoya, remember Sebastian started out of grid 16. A storming start for the Colombian in car 6 for the Prema Power team. He's in 7th. Lawson Small, Wisniewski, Hamda Alcabasi, she dropped back to 16th. The Emirati, she's fought her way back into 11th. Head of Capieto, Armani, Braschi, Gray, Simonati, Stuka, and Flack on the attack. On debut in the Italian Championship. From the back of the grid, the Australian in position 18 ahead of Jorge Garciache. Bedrin leading the Rookie Championship, but down in 20th place. Ahead of Giorgio Marcogianis, Baptiste, Perino, Leo Bizzotto, Santiago Ramos, Samir Ben, Maxola, Maya Werg, who is still struggling with a severe lack of straight line speed and overheating engine for Maya earlier on this weekend. It looks as though they have not resolved that. Zuniga. Revesh does continue on. Dufek is a lap down. We've lost Valint, his teammate de Haan, Lomko, and of course Jonas Reed in the opening stages of the race. Struggling to get some rhythm in the race here this morning. The final shootout for 2021. The safety car has been deployed. Patrese, who took pole position and built up a nice lead of almost 2 seconds. That goes now down to 0, down into the Ascari chicane. The safety car will pull in this lap. Sebastian Montoya, car 6, lights up the rear Pirelli tyres. So Patrese has to do it all again. Trumnitz will try and attack instantly. Patrese's got the speed. He will break the air for Trumnitz, Bierman, Antonelli and Fornaroli behind. Needs to escape, but be assured, Bierman will try and take second place away from Tim as well. And don't discount Antonelli standing on the podium in, 12 minutes' time when the checkered flag waves for race 1 here this weekend. With the 4 retirements, 31 cars bunch up. Patrese in car 12 for Antonelli Motorsport, looking to become the 8th different winner of the 2021 Italian F1 Championship, powered by Abarth, presented by WSK Promotion. There's Revesh, who rejoins at the back of the pack and has 11 minutes to attack race 1 here this morning. The safety car pulls into pit lane. Patrese will try and get the jump into the Alboreto Parabolica. The green flag is already waving on the start-finish straight. Patrese accelerates a nice restart from the pole sitter, keeps it on the circuit, but he's already going to lose that advantage as he breaks the slipstream for Trumnitz. Bierman, Antonelli behind. Zigs to his left, now to his right. Trumnitz gets sucked into the back of the Antonelli Motorsport car. Patrese down the start-finish straight. It looks as though he'll hold the lead into turn 1. Bierman around the outside. Will he try and take second place? Indeed he will. He's done it. Nicely done by Ollie Bierman. And Antonelli on the outside as there's carnage further back. Antonelli up again onto the podium. Briefly though, He's pushing Bierman into the big curve, Curva Grande, and Patrese a super restart. The Italian pulls away. Antonelli on the outside of the champion tries to take second place. He's done it. Antonelli up into P2. Bierman, the champion, retakes him into Lesmo 1. Trumnitz has Dirksen behind. He's one of 7 different winners in 2021. Patrese almost certainly at this stage, although we've still got 10 minutes to go, looks as though he will become the 8th. Bierman back into second, Antonelli, Trumnitz, Dirksen, Montoya from grid 16, car 6, position 6. And once again, we take a breath, the safety car will come out onto the circuit. You saw the carnage in the background, we'll bring you a replay in just a moment. Cappietto and Marco Giannis have come together. In fact, at the second chicane, we have lost Francesco Braschi. That's Marco Giannis walking away. Giorgio Marco Giannis is out. This is why the safety car is out. A big impact. 2 of the Iron Lynx cars coming together. There's Simonazzi on the outside. He went over the curves. We've had a disastrous run. There's Marco Giannis for the Van Amersfoort Racing Team. Look at this, down into the first chicane. Meanwhile, Antonelli was moving into second place. Josh Dufek, a race winner going through. He was involved in that. It's Massimo Cappietto. Listen to that. A destroyed right rear as he tries to limp back to pit lane. Massimo Cappietto, who was racing in the French Championship for much of this season. The son of Guillaume, former international kart racer, now an engineer with the Prema Power team, Massimo Cappietto. He was competitive throughout practice and qualifying, but he's limping back to the pits with a broken car. So the safety car is out again. Nico Baptiste was the cram driver involved in that, together with Benz Valint, who was still circulating, albeit a lap down. So for the second time, the safety car comes out onto the Monza circuit. Patrese will have to do it all again, yet again, for the 3rd time. He had a great start, the standing start from pole position. The first restart, he did that nicely. He'll have to do it again as we move into the final stages of race 1 of 3 this weekend. The final round of the 2021 Italian F1 Championship, powered by Abarth, presented by WSK Promotion. Bierman is the champion. He is in second place. Patrese looking at his breakthrough victory. That's Sam Flack who will look to attack the Australian in car 34. As we see, Massimo Cappietto has made it back into pit lane. Flack in position 19. The Cram Motorsport team have worked superbly this weekend after a big crash. Flack and Simonazzi in practice made it out into qualifying. He's in the top 20, racing the British Championship in 2021, on debut in the Italian Series. One of only 3 Australian drivers to race in the Italian Championship after Jack Doohan and Alex Peroni. The most competitive junior motor racing series in the world. We've had 42 drivers compete throughout 2021 from 22 different nations. As we look at the French driver, Massimo Cappietto, step out of car 5, he is out. So the safety car pulls into pit lane. And again, Patrese has to do it. 6 minutes plus 1 lap left on the clock. A perfect restart last time round. He'll have to do it all again. From our commentary position, we are staring at race control, and right now they are waving the green flag. But the rest of the field, they have to wait for the race leader, Patrese. The green flag is now flying on the start-finish straight. Look at Antonelli, looking for his first podium in car racing. The Mercedes AMG Junior, currently in position 3. Bierman gets a good jump, tries to go with Patrese, but the pole sitter in car 12 leads the field away nicely once again. Great start from Patrese. The green flag does fly. In the dying stages of race one, Lorenzo Patrese leads the field down the straight, breaks the air for Biermann, Antonelli, Travnitz and Dirksen behind. Immediately the field scattered down into turn one. There is Montoya as Biermann dives down the inside. Patrese locks up, he goes straight ahead. Has he thrown his chance of victory away? Incredibly keeps it on the circuit. Don't throw it away now, Lorenzo. Oh, his poor mother, Francesca, down in the Antonelli Motorsport garage, will be on the absolute edge of her seat. He incredibly just does hold the race lead. Let's hope for young Lorenzo's sake the car is not damaged, as Travnitz down the inside and takes the place away from Josh Dirksen. Not a good restart for Antonelli. He was in position 3. He's back to P5, being attacked by the Paraguayan and his teammate Montoya, who has come from the 8th row of the grid, trying to race his way up onto the podium. Sebastian Montoya, a 1:53.635, the fastest driver on the circuit. Car 6, position 6. He started grid 16. Patrese nervously checks his mirrors as they race down into Ascari. Antonelli being attacked by Dirksen in the background. Antonelli one step off the podium. There's Montoya behind. Take a look at this down into turn one. Patrese locks up. Biermann around the outside, gets airborne. Does not flinch, does not lift. Oh, look at his poor mother and father. Wow. Incredible tension here at Monza. You can see the time elapsed at the top of your screen. So we're trying to quickly calculate as they start lap 14. Travnitz on the outside of Biermann. And Patrese gives the toe to both of them. Will lead down into turn one, goes to his right, to your left. Biermann on the grass. The champion down the inside again. Patrese locks up. Does he hold it? Nicely held, but Biermann's got a great run on the exit. They're 3 wide, and Antonelli is there to fight for the win as well. An incredible moment as Patrese throws it away. Comes together with Biermann, he's in the gravel. Lorenzo Patrese will not win race one here at Monza. Heartbreak for the pole sitter. Dirksen has got the race lead. Antonelli down the inside of the champion. Antonelli is now up on the podium. What a sensational finish here at Monza. Antonelli on the inside of the champion. Oli closes the door and says, no, you don't, gimme. This is breathtaking. Race one, the final round of the 2021 championship here at the Temple of Speed, the home of the Italian Grand Prix that is Monza. Josh Dirksen has got the race lead. He's already won twice in 2021. The BWT Milka Motorsport team, they started on the 2nd row of the grid. His teammate, Jonas Reed, is out. Zuniga's down in 24th place. Oh, Dirksen's got the lead. Heartbreak for Lorenzo Patrese. There he is in the background. He's there behind Kasper Stuka, it looks like, in 15th place. One car off in the background at the exit of Ascari, keeps it going. And he's one of the crown drivers. It may well have been Marcus Flack. There's Bedron down the inside of Perino, the driver from the south of Africa, the Mozambican for US Racing. Pedro Perino closes the door, so Dirksen's got the lead, can you believe? Travnitz on the inside of Antonelli, car 99. He's up on the podium at the moment, gets the toe from Biermann, who checks his mirrors down into turn one. Biermann closes the door. Half a move on Dirksen as well. And the Paraguayan holds the lead. There's Humda Alcobasi going through. She's now up in the top 10. There is Patrese. Heartbreak for the Italian. He'll get another crack this afternoon in race 2 when he'll start from pole position yet again. He's down in 14th ahead of Stuka, Garciaci and Perino. As Biermann around the outside wants to finish the season in style. Into the Roger chicane. Dirksen slow on the exit. Drives Biermann into the grass. Biermann now under attack from Antonelli. He may well win this. Do not discount Kimi. We believe this is the penultimate lap of the race. down into the Ascari chicane. On this, the penultimate lap of an incredible race one. Antonelli on the back of Bierman. They are throwing everything at the third last race of the 2021 season. Bierman will get the toe from Dirksen. This is spectacular. This is Fornaroli going through for Team Iron Links. Lawson, who's second in the Rookie Championship, may well overtake Bedrin, who is way down the order in position 19. Dirksen into the Alboreto Parabolica. Bierman hassling the back of him. And they'll get the last lap bought this time round. Antonelli runs wide at the exit of the Alboreto Parabolica. He gets the toe from Bierman, but likewise gives it to Trumnitz and Montoya from grid 16. The Colombian is in P5. Antonelli pushes Bierman down the straight. Almost again, the Englishman is in the grass. Down the inside, watch Antonelli. Bierman locks up. Antonelli goes straight ahead. So briefly, he was in the race lead. Oli Bierman will retake position one. There's carnage further back in the background. Antonelli on the outside of the champion. Dirksen, who led them across the line for the penultimate time, is back in P3. Antonelli on the outside looking for his maiden debut. Breakthrough victory in car racing over the ripple strip. And Bierman holds position one. Antonelli, Dirksen. There's Hunter Alcobasi, who closes the door right behind on Pietro Armani. Conrad Lawson, in fact, it was on Leonardo Fornaroli. Into the Lesmo corners, it is Bierman who wants to finish it in style. Checks his left side mirrors, or mirror singular, down under the old banking into the Ascari chicane for the final time. Again, he stares at the left side mirror. It is Antonelli, he'll get the toe. Needs to go cleanly through the Ascari chicane. There's Fornaroli on the inside, tries to take the place from Piotr Wisniewski. The pole closes the door on car 72 for Team Iron Links. Antonelli desperate for a maiden victory in the Italian F4 Championship. Nail-biting stuff. Watch Bierman into the Alboreto Parabolica. Turns in, he'll hold it. What a sensational finish. The checkered flag is about to wave. Oli Bierman takes another victory. The champion wins race one in style here at the Temple of Speed. Antonelli on the podium in second place in his third ever car race. Dirksen P3 from Trumnitz. What a drive from Montoya. The Colombian grid 16 into P5. As you see Simonazzi run off the side of the circuit, it was he who was involved in that accident on the penultimate lap of the race. Bierman has won it. His 9th victory of 2021. A messy yet spectacular race. This was the moment though. Heartbreak for Patrese. Contact in for Bierman. It happened too quickly. For us to see, we'll need another look at the replay. Either way, it matters for nothing. His heartbroken mother, Francesca, and furious mother, no doubt, Ricardo, down in the garage. Levente Revesh loses the front wing on the final lap of the race. As one of the Jensen cars, Samir Ban off wide into the gravel. No steering for Levente. Brasket was, in fact, who went wide. Well, it was a messy race. Antonelli locked up so briefly. The Italian was into the race lead. There was the carnage in the background. In fact, it was Patrese coming together, so he did not even make the checkered flag. He'll get another crack this afternoon. He starts race 2 on pole position. He did everything right, led for the majority of this race, but comes home with a big 0 here this morning. Bierman has taken the victory here. He only arrived at the circuit at midnight on Friday morning after competing in the BRDC Aston Martin Young Driver of the Year competition over in his native England, of which he is down to the final 4. He takes his 8th victory here this morning. Antonelli on the podium for the first time in what will be a long car racing career. And Josh Dirksen, he led the final lap takes the final step of the podium here this morning. As we turn the page, we look down to position 27. Heartbreak for Patrese out on the final lap of the race. Bierman cements his lead in the championship. He is already the champion. And Trumness moves up to second place. Look at this.
Oh, mate, looking awesome. Awesome. Everyone wants to hit you. Never in doubt, son.
Fucking get on. That's how it's done. That is how it's done.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Good drive, mate.
That is how it's done. That is how it's done.
Well done, man. Thank you. Well done.
Hi, Oliver. Pick up your helmet, please.
Come on.
Incredible scenes down here at Monza. Congratulated by young Kimi.
Lorenzo, Oliver, can you
An incredible finish. We'll try and get a word with Ollie in just a moment. He has won for the 8th time in 2021. Heartbreak for Lorenzo. Wow. He does start race 2 from pole position and race 3 as well. So we'll see him back in about, what, 5 hours from now for race 2 this afternoon. The Antonelli Motorsport driver will start from P1 once again for race 2, which is just after 5 o'clock local time. Bierman takes his 8th victory of the 2021 championship. Antonelli on the podium for the first time. And Dirksen in P3. Let's go down and hear from the race winner, Ollie Bierman, who's with Camilla.
You were fantastic. So how do you feel after this victory?
Yeah, it was a really tough race. Yeah, toughest race I've been in, really. We lacked a bit of top speed, so I was always on the back foot, but I made the most of the restarts in the safety car, and I managed to get Josh on the last lap. So, yeah, happy to take the win, and it was a drive of the champion.
Thank you.
9th victory of 2021 for Ollie Bierman. From the start, Lorenzo Patrese, a great getaway in car 12 for the Antonelli Motorsport team. Bierman around the outside, though, would take the lead. That's when it all started to go wrong for the Booker Motorsport team in the background. Bierman initially into the lead. Patrese locked up going into the Roger chicane on the first lap. Bierman taking position 1, Patrese into second place, but it wasn't long before the Italian would retake the top stop and pull away. Patrese pulled away, actually leading by 1.5 seconds, but a couple of safety car incidents eroded the advantage of the Italian. Leventerevesh had a messy race. He would ultimately lose his front wing on the final lap. Robert de Haan on debut in the Italian Championship. That brought out the safety car when the Dutchman was parked in the gravel. Meanwhile, Montoya was on the charge. The Colombian ultimately would finish in position 5. Patrese locked up, went straight ahead at the chicane, just still held the lead though. Bierman behind. Trumness going wheel to wheel with Antonelli, and this was the moment. Heartbreakingly, the Italian in the gravel. And that was the end of his chances in race 1. Antonelli would briefly lead. He was down the inside, going P1, but just could not get car 99 stopped. Bierman would retake position 1. Dirksen, though, Josh looks set for his 3rd victory of the season, but Bierman took the Paraguayan driver on the final lap of the race to take his 9th victory, in fact it is, of the 2021 championship. An absolutely sensational victory here at Monza. With that, Motorsport Racing have almost sealed the team's championship as well for 2021. Bierman almost 100 points ahead of Tim Trumnitz, who is in second. Fornaroli just does still hold 3rd place. So Montoya, with that storming drive, is still a chance to take 3rd in the championship with 2 races of the 2021 series remaining in the next 24 hours. Just 4 points separating Montoya from Fornaroli. The podium for the first time here at Monza. Josh Dirksen proudly displays the flag of his native Paraguay. Almost took his third victory of the season, but a great podium for the Berlin-based BWT Muka Motorsport team. Antonelli on the podium for the first time, and Ollie Bierman, P1 for the 9th time in 2021, crosses his arm as we hear God Save the Queen ring out here at Monza.
E questo era l'inno nazionale.
Bierman finishes on a high with his 9th victory of the season. Antonelli 2nd and Dirksen 3rd. Heartbreak for Patrese, but he'll be back to start a race 2 at 20 minutes past 5 local time this afternoon. Thanks for your company. We'll see you for race 2 at Monza this afternoon.